Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be getting into game number 3. Sorry, just had something stuck in my mouth. We're going to be getting to game number 3 of the ASUS ROG Summer Tournament 2013 semi-final series, and it is going to be Alicia down the bottom right side of the map, red Protoss player. And our blue Terran player is going to be TaeJa, of course. Sorry about that. And yes, we are going to be, first of all, covering how they did in the first 2 games. Now, so far, TaeJa came out really strong in the very first game. Did a beautiful, absolutely beautiful drop around the 6-minute mark. He had a whole bunch of Marines, had a Hellion and a Widow Mine as well, just for extra damage, but he got a beautiful timing window out to drop into the Protoss player, because Protoss, a lot of them, they don't get a lot of gateways early on. They go for the expansion, then they go for a Robo Bay, and only then did they actually start getting 3, the 3rd, the 4th gateways, even the 2nd gateway. Sometimes they just have 1 gateway for such the longest time. And so yeah, TaeJa dropped in there, Alicia not expecting it, and Alicia tried to counter with a whole bunch of Stalkers. It just could not work. So there we go. Brilliant first game from TaeJa. Second game, Alicia just switched into high gear, which is exactly what he did versus Happy. He won all 3 of his games just by using Colossus, High Templar, and a whole bunch of Zealots on harassment. And he just did so well because he got an insane amount of macro. And TaeJa did well for a very long time. I thought he was going to win that, but no, unfortunately he did lose quite a lot of workers to those Zealots and to some High Templar Storm drops as well. So that was definitely not good for him. And in the end, he just got out macroed. He ended up losing the game. So yeah, there we go. This probe, man, getting hit quite badly, and here comes the Marine to chase it off. So yeah, that should be fine. I don't know. I mean, the crazy sort of thing that TaeJa did first game is the sort of thing that if you suspect it's coming, you can deal with it. A really crazy macro, like in the mid to late game, is not something where you can really like turn around and say, all right, I'm not going to let this happen. It's going to happen. You got no choice. You just got to deal with it. And here we go. I think the SCV may have got the first hit off there, but the probe just yeah, he's going to delay this very early Nexus, which is very good for him. And TaeJa getting his own very early expansion, so just delaying this until he can get his own one, which is quite nice. And yeah, Mothership Core coming out though, so it is going to be a bit of damage. I feel like this guy is probably going to go down, but I think the main base should be catered for. Mothership Core is going to be chasing the SCV. He's just going in the wrong direction. The SCV is going to try and make it out. Just gets taken out, so not very nice to be an SCV. Actually, the Mothership Core, how fast does it move? I'm really not sure, because these hover lights, those over clicky me bob things, usually the armor tells us, but the armor isn't active, so yes, unfortunate to tell, but I think it probably is a little bit faster than an SCV, or at least the same speed. So here we go, a couple Marines and a couple more coming out, and yeah, the Mothership Core actually choosing to run. It could possibly take them out 2 by 2. All 4 of them together would be a pain. So he's grouping up all 4 of them, but he decides not to move in. Having seen that Mothership Core, he does not like the odds anymore. But yeah, TaeJa's got to have his expansion out a little bit earlier than Alicia. And here we go. We can see the Robo Bay coming out along with the Warp Gate tech. And even the Twilight Council. Notice he only has 1 gateway at the moment. He's got a single Stalker. So yes, TaeJa in game 1, he went for a really fast starport. He actually didn't get the expansion, he just went straight for the starport, and around this point, his bloody dropship was already moving over with the Marines, with the Widow Mine and a couple of Hellions. And yeah, I mean, Alicia just had nothing to defend it because he just had no units. He just couldn't build units because he didn't have the gateways. So I think this is a sort of standard play, because I have seen quite a few Protoss players use this. But I don't know, man. And it just, in light of what happened in game 1, it does seem like there is some sort of gap that can be exploited if you know the Protoss is going for this build. He's actually going for a bloody dark shrine here, so that is going to be some crazy sort of tactics, man. I mean, TaeJa, I don't think he's really expecting it. We do have an observer coming out. No doubt we will be seeing a warp prism. There we go. So warp prism going to be dropping in some DTs. He does have 2 scans, but they won't always be available. So I feel like the DTs, if they get in there and do a nice job, they could probably take out, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 workers. I mean, TaeJa, we can fully expect him to get his workers out of there within half of a quarter of a second, man. He is got to be very fast on that. If he slacks off a bit on getting the workers out, then he might be in trouble. But I don't expect TaeJa to make that sort of mistake. We don't mind only taking half of the shields off this Stalker, man. That is not good. I thought the Widowmines did a bit more damage than that on the main target. And here we go, Stalker getting warped in, and this is good for TaeJa because he's warping in units. And yeah, that means he's not warping in DTs on the other side, but this dropship's getting very, very low. He's going to have to load up and scoot out of there. One last shot gets on him, but he's going to survive, and the Widowmine going down thanks to this observer coming out and detecting him. We did actually see some missile turrets. One missile turret there, one missile turret there. Did he see the Dark Shrine? I'm not sure if he did. Look at that, 2 forges, a robo bay. So he's definitely going to be transitioning into something else. Well, I don't suppose you could really say DTs are a main tech, so he probably always was going to get a thingamy-bob, get a robotics bay. And here we go. It looks like Triple M is kicking into high gear, getting down the starport to get out. Actually, he's going for a Viking and a medevac instead of 2 medevacs. So he's definitely expecting the Colossus to come out. And yes, he will not be surprised. And yeah, I mean, no High Templar on the way so far, but if this game starts to go out long, then no doubt we will be seeing a High Templar coming out at some point in the game. And then, of course, TaeJa will have to get Ghost to deal with that. So, yeah, but right now, he's just building up his forces. He's doing a pretty good job. Economically, he's actually a few behind. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. He's not too bad. He's still building workers, and so I'm sure he'll probably even it out approximately. He's getting a 3rd base coming down, and Alicia definitely getting the macro going on strong. He's getting 1-1 so far. He's getting 3 more gateways. He's got most of his tech that he needs. He might be getting a Templar Archives at some point, but that's probably the only extra tech he'll be getting. He's never really done a lot of Protoss air stuff too much. He prefers to be on the ground from what I've seen, and it's working, so I mean, why not? There we go, all those forces trying to go in, but he's still using the medevac with no health, so I'm not sure how much a good idea that is. This guy was about to come in, he just pulls off as well. So obviously they're not liking the drop action. They're just going to load up and just going to walk in the front door and see if that works any better. But there's observers all over the place, man. The TaeJa has just gone observer crazy. Look at this probe, man. What's he going to do? And look at the stim. Is one Colossus out there, but Nexus overcharge and the Colossus running away saves that Colossus from dying, and that's going to be good. So yeah, save that Colossus. Great job there from Alicia. If he wasn't there paying attention, he could have easily had one of those Colossus sniped, but managed to save it, so great stuff there. Bunch of pylons coming down. No doubt for a combination of Zealot and DT run-bys, and there we go, there's the Templar Archives. So the full suite of tech abilities is going to be going in, and blink on these Stalkers, really, really nice. He doesn't even have concussive shells yet, so that was a bit unfortunate. He could have killed that Stalker if he had. He got one hit off, but the Stalker just kept running. And there we go, sniping a medevac. Beautiful, beautiful job. And Alicia just has too much vision, man. He's got the observers all over the place, and it's definitely not working in TaeJa's favor right now to have observers all over the place, because he can easily get in. There we go, he snipes out that observer, so that's going to be great. And this other one, does he see this guy down here? I do not know, but he's going to load up all of his units into the dropships and maybe go around, maybe drop down here. He's putting down a cannon, but I don't know, man, I don't know. Look at it, he's taken a very, very wide berth. But here we go, he's going to duck back in. Unfortunately, Alicia has an observer here already. So if we have a look, he hasn't quite seen the drop action over there. But yeah, I don't know, those drops, man. They're pushing in. They're going to hit these stalkers. The stalkers aren't expecting them to be there, but they're going to be running back anyway. And this Nexus, he cancelled it. Beautiful cancel there. If he was not quite on the spot there, he may have lost quite a lot of minerals. 400 to be exact, well 300, because you technically only get 300 back when you cancel, but yeah. And so far, let's have a look at the economy. About even, but TaeJa, with the pressure from this Triple M force, has forced Alicia to cancel the Nexus. And meanwhile, look at this, one Marine just leaving the probe away and managing to get that probe at just the last second. So really, really great job. And he's a bit all over the place now. But yeah, knocking that third base down, getting his own third base up. And TaeJa's in an excellent, excellent position right now in terms of his macro. He's just going to make sure he... Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if he wants to get too many more workers than this. So having the third base earlier won't allow him to build up any more workers, any additional workers per second or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, his first base is going to be starting to run out soon, so he'll be able to transition over. So he doesn't really need the third base before a certain point anyway, but it's nice to have it because, of course, you can get mules going down. You've got scans. Oh, this is dangerous. This is bad. Oh, beautiful, beautiful job there by Alicia. Once again, the observer just paying off so much, seeing everything, and TaeJa just did not know what hit him then. He's got to do something about these observers. They are just wrecking his world right now. He's knocking out some pylons, and that's good. Oh, another set of storms going down. It's so close. He's got to get out here. He has lost this contain with that massive, massive storm coming down. And yeah, man, he's got to be watching out for the observers right here, because the observers are just giving him too much information. And yeah, he's a bit worried about this warp prism though. It only has a probe, but of course it could warp in DTs at any place at all. Oh, another observer over here. I don't know, man. He'd have to get... Thing is, he'd have to get a tech lab on a starport to build a reactor, and that's a lot of units. That's probably like 2 or 3 Vikings that he couldn't produce because he's going to have to get that Raven. So I don't know, man. I mean, Raven's probably not worth it, but the observer count is just really, really high, a lot higher than usual, and is really, really doing a lot of good stuff for Alicia. And TaeJa's got to do something about that, man. He's got to do something about that. Very nice Widowmine hit, but just took the shields off a couple of Zealots, and that's not all that awesome. This guy getting taken out, a bunch of Zealots coming in here, meeting up with the same army. TaeJa getting a ton of Vikings. He has got 10 so far versus Alicia's 4 Colossus. And he's got a Terran ship weapons level 2, man, so he is definitely adapting right now to the massive, massive amount of Colossus that Alicia loves to get. He's getting the ghosts out, so he's going to be fine there. Bunch of Zealots coming in. This was morphing into a planetary, but so many Zealots coming in. And the army going out. And yes, you're going to take out the Zealots, but what will the main army be able to do while these guys are undefended? Will they be able to dock out the third base? TaeJa frantically moving back to try and defend it. I don't know how he knew the army was coming, but he's got a scan in there. And he sees it, and this base is a little bit exposed, but Alicia, after being scanned, chooses not to go in there, and there is a pylon outside the planetary fortress. That's not good. Look how many Zealots he's putting in, man. That's like 12 Zealots, man. That should be... I don't know. If he repairs this, if he repairs the planetary, then I feel like it might survive. Meanwhile, his main army going in there and just chasing this guy away. The High Templar, snipey, snipey, snipe. No! Stormed. Massive storm there, doing a lot of damage, and Alicia moving in straight off it, but the Vikings going to chase him away once again, getting some storms off as he's getting chased away. That storm didn't quite get there, but the other one's missed. And yeah, Alicia just a little bit of bait and tackle there, and yeah, meanwhile, the 4th base does go down for TaeJa off this beautiful Zealot just influx into his base. And really, really nice job. Alicia, I feel like he took probably a few more hits than he probably would have liked. But he had to keep the army occupied so he could take out the 4th base. So I feel overall that Alicia definitely did some good stuff there. He may have lost a bit more units, but he took out this 4th base. And I feel like he probably did I'm saying he probably came out a little bit ahead there. His army-wise, I'm not sure how... Whether he's ahead army-wise. I mean, he's definitely behind in terms of numbers, but a lot of Marines are in this army. So, here we go. The Vikings, though. The Vikings doing a great job. There's so many of them. Storm coming down. They are so tightly packed. TaeJa has got to worry about this, man. This is how he lost game number 2. His forces were so tightly packed, and there's just too many storms on that big fat group, and they all went down, man. He's chased this guy back to this base. He's got to regroup. I feel like repairing these Vikings would definitely be a good option. Sniping this, EMP and 2 snipes, taking it down. A bunch of zealots going in, and he's going to hold off here without too many problems. But TaeJa's army is starting to look very ragtag, and he's got to get back. He's got to repair a lot of these guys, I feel like. These Vikings at low health, man, they are like 1 or 2 storms away from dying. Repair the Vikings. You've got to repair them, because you need those Vikings so badly. Look at this, 4 Colossus, 2 more coming out. That is insane. And the constant zealot harass. Once again, they got a supply depot down though, and he's moved the 4th base out over here. He's got to get a planetary on that ASAP. Yeah, because the zealots are going to be visiting it anytime soon. It's approaching that day. You know they are coming. And look at this. He's just putting a ton of them down there. He needs to send a Viking over here, man. 1 Viking over there could do so much damage. There we go. Taking out the observer. Great stuff. A couple of zealots over there, but they've got nothing to do. So, yeah, checking out. No base there. The zealots moving around this side, though. He's got a little feeling there might be something here. And 4 zealots. They might do some damage, but I think the planetary is going to get up in time. The SCV is running away. The zealots attacking the planetary. And here it goes. Boom! And yeah, those zealots are going to be taken out. No worries. Meanwhile, we have repaired a lot of the Vikings. We've got a lot of forces. TaeJa's almost maxed out, but Alicia's almost maxed out as well. We've got a little bit of attack over here. The Ghost chasing that away. This army coming in. He's got 6 Colossus. And the Vikings are definitely going to be able to wreck their world, but the Vikings have to worry about Storm now, and Storm is not good. Vikings definitely doing a hold. Oh, look at all this, man. He's just warping them in all over the place, and an Archon coming in. That is not good at all. Scouting Factory, I think, is finally going to go down. At least it's going to go on the fire. Beautiful Storm there. Putting the High Templars out on the flanks to try and hit them as they're coming in. But right now, TaeJa, man, he has the advantage. He's going to push in. He's got a beautiful army. The Stalker's going off to the flank, and hitting a couple of Vikings, but not really doing enough damage. He needs to get the Storms out on those Vikings to chase them away. But meanwhile, the Zealots back at the base, doing so much economic damage, man. 39 to 73. TaeJa has got to make something happen here. He's got to hit the economy of Alicia. And that's what he looks like he's going to do. He's going to go up. He's going to thrash the 4th base. And I like this plan. And Alicia might be able to head it off, but... come on, hit the... No, do not... Yeah, he's going to pull back, and he can't pull back. I feel like he can't pull back because he needs to equalize the economy right now. He is so far behind on the economy, it's not even funny. The longer he lets this game draw out, the worse of a disadvantage he has. He's maybe trying to go backwards and forwards, but... or Storm going down there, trying to snipe the High Templar. He got 1 snipe on it, but he needs another one to take it out, and this guy's still got tons of energy. So yeah, 75 for Storm, man. That is, it seems like a lot, but he can, he's cast 1 Storm, and in a couple of seconds, he'll be able to cast 2 more. Really, really insane. And the Storms are definitely not helping TaeJa out at all, man. The Storms have been the bane of his existence for so long. And this Warp Prism, man, 1 Viking would wreck that Warp Prism's world. But look at this, 7 Colossus, man. And the Vikings, man, he's building more Vikings. What? Tell me these guys have 3 attack. They got 2 attack. That's not bad. So there we go. An observer getting taken out there. And another observer wandering into the path. There it goes. Beautiful. So nice to get some observers out. But I feel like Alicia just has a stupidly large amount of those guys. And he's at 3-3 with 1 shield. Look at all these guys. They're getting a bit out of position, man. Colossus. Oh, did so much damage there. Got to be moving in. Where are the Storms coming? High Templars coming down. The Vikings taking a smidgen of damage and then running away. But they still got softened up here. And he's moving back. Getting a missile turret up there. He needs another one over there to defend this. Will he be able to take out this thing, man? I feel like he really has to. But then again, I mean, Alicia could just send another one over. So, yeah, it's just going to be pain forever and ever and ever. And these forces, man, the Colossus this is just a stupid amount of Colossus, man. And here we go. Not many guys here. Oh, look at that. Couple of hits there. And Command Center flying around doing some stuff. High Templar over there. They're just saying hello to the SCVs. And the SCVs are like, what the hell are you guys doing here? This is not supposed to be happening. And morphing in a couple of Zealots. So the economy once again going down. Meanwhile, attacking here. But the Vikings are looking a little bit here we go. The Stalker's getting in a great position to hold them back. There's still a ton of Vikings though, and I feel like as long as he can keep the High Templar numbers down, the Vikings can do a crap load of damage. Here they are, beautiful. Another Colossus goes down, a Storm, and the Vikings get out of there. They don't get hit by it, and TaeJa has got quite a lot of momentum. We'll forget about these guys for a second and just concentrate on this battle, and TaeJa definitely has some momentum. He's flying through another Storm there, and that's bad. And the Vikings, they're getting so low on health, man. And the cannons all over the place, but the Triple M is going to take care of that. Colossus over there. He needs to hit those Colossus. He needs to take them out with the Vikings. There we go. Another Colossus going to go down. He's just got 2 left. The Vikings hitting the Mothership Core. 1 Colossus left. It goes down. But the ground army is definitely not looking good. The Vikings landing to start wiping out the Stalkers. And this base is going to be taken out. So really, really great job there from TaeJa. He made the push he needed to do, and he took it out. And meanwhile, his entire economy just got absolutely owned by a bunch of Zealots because he was too busy concentrating on this. So, I don't know, man. I feel like TaeJa lost most of his army to take out this 3rd base. And meanwhile, Alicia just took out this base for free. So, I really don't know who is in the lead anymore because, economically, I feel like Alicia is definitely in the lead. If he loses this base, TaeJa has a possibility of winning. But I feel like he's not going to lose this base. And I feel like even if he does, Alicia would probably still win. Although I don't know. I mean, the problem is that the TaeJa has done a great job at taking out this expansion, but he didn't get any workers at all. And his own workers have just been getting owned all over the place. Look at this. He's so starved. I mean, granted, Alicia's pretty starved as well, but he's building up way more. And there we go. TaeJa giving the GG to Alicia. And once again, I mean, we saw this 3 games against Happy. The Colossus, the High Templar, the Zealot Harass. He just works so well against Happy, and now it's working so well against TaeJa. TaeJa did some funky stuff in game 1. He really did, and he did a great job. But game 2 and 3, straight up macro. I mean, the Vikings are the answer to the Colossus, but Alicia is so good at storming them. He's just storming them so well. And no amount of snipes is stopping that from happening. So I feel like mid to late game, Alicia's just got it down against TaeJa, against Terran players totally, for all I know, man. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. And I mean, there's no real Terran air option. You can't just go full Terran air. I mean, you can go battle cruisers, but that's not going to work. Void Rays will own your ass, and you can't. What are you going to go? Banshee Viking or something like that? Nah, that's not going to work. And Storms will still take him out. So, I mean, TaeJa is doing the only option he really can. Maybe full mech. Maybe full mech. I do not know. I do not know, man. I mean, full mech. I'd like to see him try it. Maybe it'll work. But I have no idea. Anyway, we'll have to move on to game number 4, and Alicia taking well, to me, it's a bit of a surprising victory. I mean, his PVT is just so solid. It's one of the most solid PVTs I've ever seen. And TaeJa, who I've mentioned, he's been in so many grand finals. Looks like he may get knocked out here by Alicia, because I really don't think he has an answer to this tech, this late game tech from Alicia. So, all right, stay tuned for game number 4. We are going to see what, if anything, TaeJa can do to fight back and try and get into the grand finals. But, alright, stay tuned for that. This is Hairy Muppet. Hope you enjoyed this game.